Getting some nice looking fruit formation in these ones that I've redunked. You see them all popping up now, doing pretty well. It's taken a while for these other ones to start, but you see the coconut coir just has a little bit on top that hasn't been colonized, and pins are coming up, so it's just starting. And these fruits are looking nice. I'll give them one more day to pick these. And even these ones that had the first crazy flush, you can see the new pins coming out of the old mushrooms just fine. You know, on a note, you never want to eat the mushroom that these things are growing from, because they have digestive enzymes in those old mushrooms that that are toxic to you. It'd be like eating the actual grain block itself. But that's interesting. It's all the new pins are coming out, looking good. I've noticed that when you close the plastic up, that any mushrooms in there, you can see they don't have this bright white, nice smooth looking cap color. So that's a good indicator that they're getting plenty of fresh air and staying wet. And most of these, yeah, I cut off because, you know, all these ones that were fat with little caps, they just weren't really growing any larger. So I figured it better just to cut them off, remove any stump portions. And then you can see on some of these I put just a little bit more casing on there to cover it up, because it was getting a little too colonized with primordia. But you can see this one's starting to creep out a new flush, so hopefully once these get going, they're going to be producing really well. So I've gone from not having many mushrooms for a few weeks to now I have gobs of mushrooms coming up everywhere. All these blocks that I dunked seem to be working just great. Doesn't look like all the pins are going to form into a full-size mushroom, but that's pretty good. You can see, for instance, this one down here, there's not a lot that aborted. It'll be easy to clean off and recase. And all of these are doing better now that I've cut the sidewalls off and recased a little bit on some of them. I have noticed that some of these mushrooms, I think maybe this one was one of them, that started as primordia here when you have the sidewalls up and then get the chance to fruit when you take them off. It does cause a problem. It's like they've already kind of decided they're in a high CO2 environment. So a lot of these I just kind of like stripped everything off, and if I had a funky mushroom growing up, I just cut it off. Yeah, here's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. See how these aren't coming up very well? It's like I might as well just pick those off and better do a better job on the next flush. Can you believe someone told me that you can't use coconut coir as a casing? That it wouldn't work, that I wouldn't get mushrooms? These ones are starting to fruit, because I cut the slits. I don't know if this is going to work or not. If it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and remove the top and make it like all the other ones. I did have an issue where on some of these newer blocks I over misted, and the coconut coir casing
got sopping wet to the point where I actually had to tilt the block on the side again and let it drain off. But fortunately enough, the coconut coir holds together because it's so fibrous, so none of it fell off when I put the block on its side. And then I just avoided misting it for a couple days so the moisture evened out. And a few more blocks draining off. But yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with the results I'm getting with this. I think the case grain is definitely the route to go. These blocks, I'll probably be able to get 5 or 6 flushes off of them too, before they're they're only putting off like 1 mushroom at a flush. But the grain most likely will not mold up. Every time I pick mushrooms off, I'll just recase it. I don't think I'll even dunk any of the ones. I'll just put a nice fresh layer of casing on it and then mist it heavy so it soaks into the top. But yeah, I should get quite a bit off of these.